Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moonday oracle message. For those of you who are new to my page, welcome and thank you for being here. I do hope that you enjoy yourself and the information that you find here. I'll do a really brief run through of exactly how the readings work, what Moonday is, and what you can expect in just a few moments. So bear with me, I'm just going to start to share and let people know that I am on and on live. And I see a few of you just starting to pop in. Sherry and Flo, welcome beautiful souls. Thank you for being here. Let's see if I can find it. Hi Rosemaria, welcome beautiful. Thank you for being here. How are you all doing this evening? Faster way to do this, you know. Hi Dawn, hello Allison, happy Moon Day. Jillian, happy Moon Day. Thanks for being here. How's everybody's weekend been? How have you been feeling? Headachy, oh no. I heard someone else saying that they've been having pretty consistent headaches throughout the last few days or so. Have you been drinking enough water? You know, when we have a lot of high frequency or high energy light coming in, it can, even though it's essentially upgrading us, you know, if we're not in a energetic place where we're easily able to receive it, for a lack of a better way to explain that, it tends to, you know, I call them energy headaches or psychic headaches, where all this high energy comes in, or when I'm doing any energy work, you know, if I've kind of overexerted myself, which it can do as it's trying to help us to upgrade, and upgrade our, you know, our energy bodies, our light bodies. And as it's expanding us higher, you know, if we're not fully in a position that we're ready to receive it because there's some clutter and things that need to go debris wise, it can be a little taxing on our physical body, and headaches can be one of those ascension symptoms, I guess you could say. And so drinking a lot of water can actually assist in that. Lots of pure water. Also trying to really ground out any excess energy, you know, because sometimes it tends to be just like an overabundance of energy coming in. So really trying to ground that energy out, getting outside, really anchoring in your roots into the earth, or even sitting up against a tree, hugging a tree. And I'm not saying that to be funny or silly. It really legitimately does help, because what you're doing is you're anchoring your energy into that tree and becoming one with it. And then it really does allow the transference of nature energy and healing to actually to be received and to help out. So maybe give that a try, and obviously use common sense. You know, if something is continuously happening, you know, obviously you might want to get some medical assistance or guidance as well. Hi Sierra, welcome, thanks for being here. Hi Shelly, long time no see, gorgeous, thank you for being here. Oh Jillian, thank you, beautiful, thank you. Dawn says, I actually feel really good. Released something that was really bogging me down and stressing me out. Good for you, sister. We're going to be talking all about that with the energy forecast. Hi, Mimi. Welcome. Okay, so for those of you who might be new to my page and anybody catching it back on replay, I am just going to go really briefly over, you know, how the Moonday reading works. So So let me just take a sip of my tea before I go into it. So, the Moonday messages, as I said before, I am an intuitive and an oracle, and I do use my own abilities and natural intuitive abilities to discern messages for the highest and greatest good for all of us as a collective, especially all those who are drawn here, who find themselves here watching this, whether it be live, whether it be on the replay, even months from now, years from now, whenever you find yourself here, you are hearing this message in exact divine timing as to when it will most be relevant to you in your life. But the messages are always for the highest and greatest good, using both oracle cards and my own intuitive abilities, as I said. And these are not individual, personalized readings. So I'm not actually doing pulling cards for people here today and doing readings. I'm actually just doing a reading for all of us and what we all need to know moving through the energy of this week. And how we can, because that really gives us an awareness as to what might be going on and how we can best embrace the energy, kind of getting, or even get ahead of the energy. And it's the essential for us to be able to move in divine flow, a harmonious flow with the energy, versus trying to resist or going through things blindly without any understanding of what is happening or what the higher meaning is behind what might be going on within our lives this week energetically. So it really does enable us to be open and flowing with the energy, if that makes sense. All right. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome, beautiful. Hi, Carmela. Hey, Derek. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. You guys are so sweet. I really appreciate you all. You're great for the confidence. I'm just kidding. But thank you so much. So those of you who are new, I do offer private readings, individual readings privately. So if you are interested in having a reading with me, it does not matter if you're not local or in person. I do the readings actually through the use of a video chat or video recording software for anyone. So if you're interested, just have a look at my services on my page, even over at my sister business, Oracles of the Light. And that is with my two partners, Lindsay and Karen, and we offer an array of readings, healing sessions, both remotely and in person. So feel free to check them out. And if you're interested, you can private message us or me, and we can schedule a one-on-one reading for you. Hi, Monielle. Welcome. So how these readings work, again, I explained, but also before I actually pull the Moonday reading, what I do is go over any news and announcements that I have going on over here at Magical Me or at my sister business, Oracles of the Light. And then after that, I talk about what I refer to as my energy forecast or my empathy forecast. And I really just talk about what I'm feeling energetically, what I've noticed, very much about connecting into the symbolism and the higher messages in everything. So I like to talk about that and see if that, what I can bring forward may resonate with you and what you might be experiencing in your own life at this time. Also, anything that's major going on astrologically, between a full moon, new moon, eclipses, different planetary alignments, you name it. If it's important for me to discuss, I discuss it at this time. Then I pull the Moonday message from an oracle card deck that kind of jumped out at me, wanted to work with us this week. And then after that, I pull a mudra for us all to work with together, and I will explain more about what a mudra is and how it does assist us when we get there. Okay? Oh, all right. I think I said it all. Let's see. Anything else going on? Make sure I didn't miss anything. Sometimes it's really it's hard for me to see the messages or the comments. Sometimes Facebook hides comments and I can't always see them. So I do apologize if you are, communicating and I'm not seeing it or not responding. I am not purposely ignoring anyone. Hi, Anne-Marie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so first things first, news and announcements. There really are not any to really go over right now at this time, as with the holidays and things have been quite interesting and the energy quite interesting. So the oracles and I don't have really much to announce right now. The only thing that I am currently offering is my yearly 2021 12-month reading. So every year around this time, I offer a 12-month video recorded reading that you actually receive in 2 segments. So the first 6 months of the year and then the remaining 6 months of the year. And it's for a year ahead outlook, and it's literally step-by-step guidance for every single month of the year, as well as, so you're really getting like 12 cards or 12 messages of guidance for each, throughout the whole year, if you can get that out. And then I do actually ask for an ascended master or a being of light that really kind of wishes to step forward to champion you for the year, to, someone that you can call on, that can assist you, basically by what they embody, the energy, the school of wisdom that they work with is really what is going to be relevant in your life. They'll step forward to assist you. Therefore, you can call on them all year long. So it is a really lengthy reading. It's a very beneficial reading, and because it is video recorded, it does enable you to watch every month as it comes, and then even reflect back at the end of the month if there was anything that you might not have recognized until it actually played out. It gives you a little bit more insight as to how you can continue moving throughout the energy of that month or that year. All right, so those are currently available. I do have a bit of a waiting list starting already. I will be starting those readings December 1st. They're $77, and again, they are 12 months, as well as a final kind of like guide that pops forward, if you will, at the end of it. So really amazing reading to consider for the year. They're not fortune tellings, but again, they are guidance from your higher self and from your family of light that wishes to assist you in how you can best maneuver through the energy of each month throughout the year. I will be actually closing it down if it gets to be too many people getting onto the list, and that's how it's been for the last couple of years that I've offered these readings. The list really fills up quickly because I only have the month of December to really be able, and maybe like the first week or 2 of January, to really get them out so that they're relevant. So again, if you're interested, I do suggest jumping on it as soon as possible. They also make wonderful holiday gifts as well, because who couldn't use a little bit of divine guidance throughout the coming year, especially given the year that we've had. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out, and I will get you booked and get you on the list. Hi, Laura. Hi, Liz. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Jillian says, highly recommend all of Jamie's readings, but the annual one is a must if you are drawn. Thank you so much, Jillian. I love you. Yes, Jillian is, she has been with me since the beginning of offering those readings, and she has been quite a faithful customer. So thank you so much for that. Hi, Angela. Welcome. All right, so let's get into the energy forecast. So first of all, I'm just going to acknowledge this so it goes away. There's something going on with my voice. There's something going on with my throat. So usually when that happens during Moonday, because I am what some people refer to as a medical intuitive, clairsentient, empath, energy sensitive, whatever you want to refer to it as, my body actually does pick up. Its spirit shows me what needs to be addressed sometimes through my physical body. So if I don't acknowledge it, it won't go away, and I definitely don't want to start coughing here, so I'm going to just address this. So I'm definitely feeling like, don't be afraid to share if there's something that you're experiencing, that you've been going through this past week. I know a lot of people are very private, and that's completely understandable, and I understand. But if you feel like there's something that you've been experiencing that you want to just, you want to say it in the comments, but you feel like maybe you shouldn't talk about it, Spirit's actually asking you to go ahead and communicate and release that from your throat, because holding that in, and sometimes we just don't have anybody to tell these things to, or that can't relate to us in, and a lot of times when you find yourself drawn here, there's kindred spirits. There are people who are experiencing very similar things, myself included, and it might even be something that comes up in the Moonday message. Spirit's actually asking you, see, I can't even get it out, asking you to communicate it in some way, because holding it in actually suppresses it and continues to create more of an issue with it versus just getting it out. It does allow you to positively express it and release it at the same time. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is I feel like it's going to play into this week's reading, where we're probably going to have some communicating our truth and speaking up and addressing something this week. So really interesting to see what comes up in the reading. All right. Dawn says, my daughter went to the hospital earlier this week feeling, it must have cut the rest of your sentence off, but I'm really sorry to hear that, and I do hope that is she home now? Is she safe? And is everything okay? And I'm sending love and blessings to both of you. Okay, so the energy empathy forecast. Oh, hi Meredith. Welcome, beautiful. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I was called to do throat focus this morning in my sacred space. Interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what comes forward. Oh, she was feeling lethargic and she was treated for strep. Oh, wow. There you go. And you know, lots of times what is on our physical body is a sign or a message for us to pay attention to what's in our emotional and mental body, to really work through and process in relation to our throat chakra. So, okay. No problem, hon. All right, so energy forecast. Wow, it's been intense, to say the least. After last week's Moonday reading, I'm just going to be straight up honest. I had a really shit week up until about Friday, and then the weekend things kind of like smoothed themselves out. But for the most part, I did. Now there was blessings in there, so I'm going to acknowledge that too. And I recognize that the shit part of it was all in preparation to bring me something more. It was the trigger or the catalyst to activate me. And if you remember last week's Moonday cards, we did have one card that said activate our DNA. The other card said run wild for a while. And I feel like that was also pertaining to us being able to liberate ourselves and be activated and triggered into liberating ourselves from those situations that are coming to a close. Those situations that are just in some way or another no longer serving us. And it doesn't mean it necessarily has to be bad situations, but that situations just are coming to an end. And we're going to really dive into that. So for me, there definitely were some triggers that were blessings at the same time. Initially, when I was triggered, it was really hard to find the blessing in it, even though in the back of my mind, I did understand it. And I did know it was just fuel for my fire to help me break free, or to really come into this place of reassurance that liberating myself from the situation is the best way to go, and that it was challenging to really further confirm that this just doesn't serve me anymore. It's no longer resonating with me, if that makes sense. So I have my confirmation that it is something that I'm going to be liberating myself from in the coming weeks. But when I was in it, it was really difficult to pull myself out of that. And oftentimes it is. When we get triggered, it's hard to have that higher perspective. You know, it's hard to pull out of it and hover above it instead of just diving into it. And so I did for a little bit. I did dive into it. And I just had to eventually kind of get in front of it and say, okay, you know what? It's actually comical. It's actually comical because it really has nothing to do with me. And that's another part of it, is that, you know, what was coming up and what is going to continue to come up as we move into the full moon lunar eclipse on the 30th is this pattern of liberation and triggering. Activating should be the better word, even though it might feel like a trigger. It's an actual activation, and it is activating you into your higher awareness and into this place of something new that wants to come into your life, but we cannot accept those new things until we have made space for them, right? So I have a saying, and it is, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what is this making room for? And that allows you to get ahead of it instead of being drugged down by it, and really accepting that whatever is going on is part of a bigger process to not make your life miserable, to make you recognize that something has to change, whether that be the way that you're doing things with the situation, whether that be addressing something and having you literally speak up and communicate it and speak your truth, and then seeing how the cards fall from there and see what you're dealing with at the time, after all of that comes up and out. Or it's happening for you to literally recognize that this is a pattern that is done. It served its purpose, it served its time, and it's time for you to break free from what isn't working anymore, what is harming you energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. We talked last week about that, what is not honoring you, and it was right on. So those things that we're not honoring and not serving are really coming forward now, just to propel us. And I do see a lot of you commenting, and I am going to definitely, oh no, some of you are saying that you can't hear us. You can't hear me, us. Let me just make sure everybody can. Angela, can you hear me now? Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Di. Hi, Karen. Carmela says she can finally hear me. Oh, that's good. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that you could not. Technology. Interesting. That's really interesting. Couldn't hear me. Okay, thank you, Meredith. If anybody else is still struggling, let me know. So that's really... Is it? No, my mic is in. Let me see. Okay, so I pushed the volume up as far as I probably could. Is anybody else having problems? If you are, okay, because some of you can hear fine. If you're still struggling with it, thank you, Kimberly. I'm going to just suggest then to kind of like log off really quickly and then, just kind of close out everything and then try to pop back in and see if that works. The microphone is literally right here. Hi, Hannah. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Karen. All right, so I'm just going to keep on going. If you can't hear me, just log. Can somebody type that in the comments? Because they might, obviously my mouth is moving and they can't hear me. So if you could just ask them to just log out or come back in, or close out and then come back in, that might help. Sorry. That's funny though, because I had a temple meetup with some of my level 1 students yesterday, and one of the women had actually said that they temporarily lost their voice, and they were concerned that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to get their voice back. And just as they said, I'm not sure if I'm going to get my voice back, it went out, and none of us could hear her talking. And as soon as as soon as we said, oh my goodness, the sound went out, it came right back on. And it was a message from Spirit to her, letting her know that your voice goes out temporarily. There's a reason for it, but it is going to come back. So there is something there for those of you who could not hear. Something that you weren't seeing, hearing. This could be intuitively. This could be a miscommunication, someone not hearing you. You're being asked to take a step back, ground, refresh, come back with a different perspective and a clearer mind. Hope that helps, okay? Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate you doing that. Hi, Scott. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm going to try to get back onto that now, so sorry, everyone. So, just going to make sure this is good. Where was I? So the stuff that's been coming up this week is really activating us to explore how either something needs to change or something needs to be let go. And I did see that there was a blessing even in the difficult experience I was having. I did see that there was a blessing that was essentially confirming something that I already suspected in the back of my mind. And you know, fear sometimes really makes us doubt ourselves. And we often, especially when we focus on like the logical aspect of something, we go into, we want to be logical, we want to be rational, you know, and then we also are afraid to make big life changes sometimes. This was showing me that this situation was getting really ugly, to show me that it was time for me to really follow my heart and liberate myself, because I had already felt like it was going to be coming anyway. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that are happening right now to liberate us that we may not have wanted to see on our own because of fear and, you know, those logical reasons that try to rationalize things. But, you know, right now we're really being asked to connect into our intuition, really being asked to connect into our heart and ask ourselves, what is my heart asking me to do? If I knew that I was fully supported, if there was no fear surrounding the situation, what would I do? That's your answer. Anything else is just a trap. It's just an illusion to, you know, and it's part of that old paradigm, that old third dimensional way of thinking that will keep you in this position due to all of these other external influences. Does that make sense to everybody? So there's something else I want to share with you that Spirit actually has been sending me this message for a couple of days. So I take messages very seriously. Everything is symbolic. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Every single thing is symbolic. There's another underlying or bigger message that plays into a situation. And I've been singing, and as soon as I open my eyes, I get up and I'm moving about the room, and I'm singing a song. And that often happens when Spirit's trying to send me a message. But this one has been very persistent the past week, and it came forward again right before Moonday, and it's Higher Love. I believe it's by, there's one by Whitney Houston, but it's by the original singer, Stephen something or other. Let me pull up. I have it right here on my phone. It's a very popular song. I'm sure you've all heard it. But, you know, I've sang that song for years, and I never really listened to the lyrics. I really broke it down. I just sang what I, you know, kind of just, you go and flow with it. You're not really listening. Interesting, because you can't hear it, right? You're not really listening to the message that Spirit's trying to send you. This is also a really good message for us all. So it's Steve Winwood. So the message is, so the name of the song is Higher Love, and I'm going to read you some of the words. You might have already, thank you, Jillian. You might have already heard the song, be familiar with it, but for those of you who are not. So the words are, think about it. There must be higher love, down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, and I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? We walk blind and we try to see, falling behind in what could be. Worlds are turning and we're just hanging on, facing our fear and standing out there alone. A yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone who's feeling for me. So what I took away from this was that Spirit, our higher self, the universe, circumstances happening. These situations are unfolding. Whether they look pretty or not, they're unfolding because the universe is trying to deliver higher love to us. Our passion, our calling, our life's purpose, that we are being asked to liberate ourselves and open ourselves up to the possibility of a higher way of being, of a higher way of living, more in alignment with our truth, with our authenticity, with love. So whatever that means for you, however your situation looks like, I just want you to remember that. Play the song this week if you can, and really help yourself to remember that there's a divine orchestration to everything occurring, and there's always a silver lining and a blessing in every difficulty, in every challenge. So remember, even as the world is turning, even as the chaos abounds, is it really though? It may seem it, but you are asked to detach from the chaos and see it instead as the transformation that is occurring. Even in our own lives, we're mirroring outwardly. What is going on can be seen and perceived as chaos. But to the initiate that is open and ready to receive, they'll see this as divine intervention. And I know that's a difficult thing to embrace when our loved ones are being affected, when we might be being affected. But you're being asked to do your best to hold love, to see the truth and the higher blessing in everything that's occurring. That might be difficult. I'm not telling you to not feel your pain, not feel your frustration and your anger. That's important, and I say this all the time. Those of you who know me, who work with me, you know I'm all about working with the shadow as much as I am about working with the light. I definitely am not a fluffy bunny light worker. I am all about understanding where your feelings come from, where the struggle, the situation that comes up. And, for example, my situation that I said was a shit week, shit situation, and very frustrating. I did feel it. I did allow myself to feel the frustration and the wounds or the less than emotions that were triggered within me. But I understood them, and I asked myself to process them. Why was I feeling that way? Well, I was feeling like I had no voice. Interesting. I was feeling like I had no voice, and I was feeling like my voice was not being heard. I was also feeling like I didn't matter. Like my role in that situation didn't matter. And therefore, it actually was a blessing. It was Spirit saying, so then what are you doing? What are you doing there? It's time for you to take your leave, you see? So that I processed through those feelings. I didn't ignore them. I didn't pretend they don't exist. And I acknowledged them. And then I allowed myself to embrace the blessing and the love and the compassion. And in doing so, I am allowing myself to come into a place of grace throughout the situation. And this is important for us all, to gracefully glide through these things, to flow and allow yourself to be open to receiving what's coming next. Okay? The full moon is on the 30th. It is a lunar eclipse, right? So it's potent. It is assisting us it's the first in a series of the full moon, or the eclipses that are coming. We actually have a really big, potent one, an actual full solar eclipse on the 14th of December in the new moon. So that's going to be really potent. However, this one is preparing us. So if you understand the full and the new moon, full moon is a time of completion, but also empowerment. The new moon coming up then is a time of rebirthing and planting planting new seeds for the new cycle, new beginnings and setting intentions. So you see that what's happening at the full moon on the 30th in that eclipse is preparation for where we need to be on the 14th. Does that make sense? So lunar eclipses are all about, again, because it just follows the moon that it's with. So the full moon being time of completion, the lunar eclipse is going to be about, all eclipses bring about massive change and like almost life-changing, life-altering, like really big changes. So if we know that this is with a full moon, we can recognize that it's going to be lots of closing of chapters and doors that just we're no longer needed in. It's time for us to venture into new areas and new territories and be prepared. So we've got to do the work. We've got to clear out. We've got to let some stuff go. So that's what's coming. All right. So in all, do your best to find the blessing in every circumstance. Find the symbolic message and do your best to find your center and be in love in the best that you can, to hold that love within yourself and to know that the universe is delivering or is attempting to deliver higher love to you. And that's why these things are happening. Okay? I hope that makes sense to everybody. Hi, Karen. Hi, Doug. Hey, Annie. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. How's it doing now as far as sound goes? Is everybody okay? Can you hear me all right? Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate that. Just before I go on. Yeah, so there's definitely be some voice stuff coming up this week. Speaking your truth. And, you know, even like I said, when I felt like I didn't have a voice, I recognized, though, that was my wound. That was my wound. That was something that I had to work through. It wasn't necessarily to do with the situation that happened. The situation was just a trigger for me to experience and feel that, and then acknowledge that that was an old pattern and an old wound that needed to die within me. Okay? Thank you, Kimberly. Okay, so with that said, we are going to move into the Moonday message for the week. And I sat here trying to feel what decks wanted to work with us this week, and it's the same one. I think this might be the third week in a row now that we're working with Cheryl Yambrick Rose's Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. Okay, absolutely love all of her decks. If you don't, this is my favorite, and she does have a new one going to be coming out next year, Mary Magdalene deck. Yeah, so if you haven't gotten a hold of any of her decks yet, definitely check them out. She's got 3 currently available. Okay. All right, everybody. So we're going to enter into sacred space. So I'm just going to ask you to just close your eyes. Just relax. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Just release, feeling all tension in your body fall away. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Let go of all thought, stress, worry, anxiety. Anything not serving, just release. All right, and what guidance comes forward for the world as a collective's highest and greatest good for the week of November 23rd, 2020. Wow. Quite the message. So the card is Vigil by the Holy Thorn Tree. Keep the vigil. Justice will triumph. Makes perfect sense. Especially considering last week for everybody. And even those of you who might be experiencing similar circumstances this week. So, Vigil by the Holy Thorn Tree. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this first before I go into the whole message. Thanks, Karen, right? So the Holy Thorn Tree. So this is actually, Cheryl depicted the Holy Grail, or the chalice, floating and hovering above a Knight Templar who's holding a sword of truth. He's got beautiful Pleiadian blue rose there, and in the background is Glastonbury tour, and this is, and the tower, and this is the heart chakra of the earth. For those of you who have followed my work, you know that I talk a lot a bit about Glastonbury and my link to it. It is also believed to be ancient Avalon. So I have actually visited, many of you know that, I go on tour to Glastonbury once a year, as often as I possibly can. But I will say that it is believed that the Holy Family actually lived and resided in Glastonbury for a time. And it's believed that Joseph of Arimathea, Mary Magdalene, came over and landed in Glastonbury, came over on a boat, and Joseph of Arimathea carried the Holy Thorn staff that actually belonged to Jesus, Yeshua. And so he brought this staff over with him, and when they landed on, when they first landed in Glastonbury, they landed on Weary All Hill. And that was where it was believed that Joseph of Arimathea just stuck the staff down into the ground and kind of planted it there, if you will. And it was believed to have taken form in, eventually over time, grew into an actual thorn tree, holy thorn tree. And so it was a sacred tree, and that tree supposedly existed there for, you know, many years. And you know, it's possible that over time, so from that, this is what I do want to say, from that tree there were many branches and trees, many seeds taken and branches taken that were actually replanted off the original holy thorn tree over time. So this holy thorn tree was there for, you know, many years on Weary All Hill, and right the first time that I visited Glastonbury, it had been severely butchered, and vandalists came in and they actually massacred that tree. It was still there, the trunk part was still there, but the year after, the following year that I went back, the tree actually had been completely severed from, you know, all the way down to its base, and it was just tragic. And you know, the whole, it was a very big thing, and it had to do with like greed, politics, other things that I'm not going to go into for now. But what the tree represented, you know, so many people were just devastated because of what the tree actually represented. There were so many other trees that had been taken from that tree before it was destroyed, and people actually had some of the, you know, the babies from that original tree there. And to me, this is always like Cheryl's message, saying, you know, like, justice will triumph. You know, it's not so much about the actual tree as it was about the magic, as it was about the blood that runs through these ley lines, the power, the magic, and what it's represented. So Mary Magdalene and Joseph of Arimathea were set to establish the first, what we now understand as Celtic Christian church. It wasn't called that then, but they established the way, where they continued Yeshua's teachings there, and established the first church with Yeshua's teachings. So that magic, it's still there. It is the heart. You cannot kill the heart, the love of Glastonbury. You know, that's the magic. And so the justice will triumph, and no matter what. And they actually just recently, this year, planted a new holy thorn tree at the Chalice Well. So just wanted to kind of share the background of the message here, that what is meant to work in your favor, what is true and good, love and truth will always win. It will always be upheld. So, and you are supported, and where we are going in the world right now with the divine beings of light that are assisting this ascension process, we are supported to follow our truth, to liberate ourselves from injustice. And that's what this card is saying. Keep the vigil. Don't lose hope. Continue your journey. Hold out your light, because you are supported as the injustices try to take you down, as those situations that, like, for example, I said, I didn't feel like my voice was being heard. I didn't feel like I was being respected. And, I felt like, after everything that I had put in and given to the situation, that it was, it wasn't being reciprocated. And to me, that felt like injustice, But at the end of the day, it actually was justice. It was divine intervention occurring to show me that, Jamie, you have the power. You have everything that you need to step boldly forward and take your power back from the situation. You are supported to live on your terms, you see? And that can be scary for many people, because to follow your bliss, to follow your truth, that seems like only a dream. It can be scary, but essentially we are supported, and now more than ever, we're asked to follow our heart's passions. We are asked to follow our intuitive abilities and our intuition and our divine messages that are coming through, and allow ourselves to receive those messages versus the external fear-mongering messages that would try to put you into that state of lower vibrational, fear, panic, and whatnot. And that's how we are kept under control, you see. So it's about liberating ourselves from those things and allowing ourselves to rise up anyway, knowing that this situation, it's not for us to have to, and this is another really good point to understand, especially with, karmic circumstances and the way that all injustices are being imbalanced at this time. And I've been talking about this for months. Everything is coming into divine balance. That's where we're headed. As a collective, at the planet, that energy of polarity is all beginning to come into divine balance. So all injustice is coming up to be righted. It's coming up to be exposed. So you yourself do not have to take matters into your own hands in a way that is to serve justice. Let me just say that. Absolutely liberate yourself and take matters in that regard, taking action. But you do not have to, what's the term that I want? You don't have to be the executioner. You don't have to be the one to come in and to serve the justice. That's not your job. Your job is to focus on you and your path and where you're going. And this actually plays into a big message that's been coming up this week, is boundaries. And there's been a lot of situations that I've noticed occurring where a lot of people are experiencing others or situations that aren't theirs, but it feels like it's theirs, because it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a partner, a relationship. And those people are kind of like dumping their situations on the other people. And so those people would automatically take on guilt or fear or anxiety or stress for another party. And you have to ask yourself, is this mine? Is it my responsibility to deal with? And if it's not yours, you've got to detach, because otherwise it's a form of enabling another person to be codependent upon you to make their situation feel better, to make them feel better. And now, obviously, we can help to hold space for people, and we can absolutely give guidance for people, but we cannot be the one to take on and allow others to dump on us either, if that makes sense. So we have to learn to detach from situations that aren't ours, that are not we have enough of our own stuff to carry. It's time for us all to be responsible for our stuff. And if you're the one that's doing the dumping, you're being asked now to take a step back and recognize, is what you're doing with other people, because it could feel like you're doing it as just a means of venting, as just a means of complaining to that other person because you're stressed out and there's nothing else to do about it. You're being asked now to ask yourself, how is that serving you? How is that serving another? So you are being asked to take responsibility and kind of step back and work through your stuff versus doing that, you know, it's more of like in a, I don't know if I want to say like a, it's a bit vampiric. I'm going to say that. It is a vampiric tendency, but most of us don't know that we're doing it. So no judgment. There's no judgment. You're just being asked to be more mindful now of what, you know, of what you're doing. And is you complaining to anyone constantly or being frustrated with someone else, even though they have nothing to do with it? Is that serving you in any way? What is serving you? How can you overcome it? So no more enabling, no more codependency, taking into yourself, grabbing your truth, grabbing your sword of power, and finding and owning your own power and how you can power through situations, how you can overcome and heal situations. So at the end of the day this week, no matter what is going on, no matter what is coming up, again, obviously, be mindful, work through it, but do not allow yourself to give up hope. Do not allow yourself to be defeated, because justice will prevail. Hold your truth. Okay? Does that make sense? Kimberly says, I feel like someone must have pulled this card today on another page too, because I swear, you know what? You just reminded me, because my days blur sometimes. This energy has been a little tough, so sometimes it blurs. But you know what? You are absolutely right. I feel like I shared it today, and I didn't even know that I did. Cheryl posts her cards, a card a day on her page, on her fan page. Cheryl Yambrick Rose Hall. She posts one of her cards a day from one of her decks, and I share it every time I see them. And sure enough, I shared it today. If I'm not mistaken, I shared this one today on my page, and that's the one that you saw. So isn't that insane? So that's double confirmation. The universe is telling us, stay in your power, in your truth, follow your bliss, follow your heart, listen to your intuition. Do not allow fear to talk you out of it, and do not allow a situation to defeat you. Liberate yourself and worry about. Don't allow other situations to play itself out. Let them worry about themselves. You have to focus on you right now and where you're going. And if that means you've got to cut some ties, you've got to cut some ties. Okay? All right. What I love too, I'm going to talk about the blue rose. So I am a priestess of the rose, not just in this lifetime, many lifetimes. And I do work with rose healing and the energy of the rose, something that I hope to be bringing forward in the coming year. But the blue rose is very special to me. The blue rose is the one that I most identify with. And I have had the blue rose come to me in a dream one time. And I was in a very challenging situation, and someone was attacking me in the dream or something. And I was able to maneuver out and slip out of the grasp of the person that was attacking me in the dream. And what I did was I swear it was like a video game where I just like summoned magic. And as I just like those of you who play video games, you know, when you like cast your magic, some of you are clerics and mages and whatnot. It was literally like that. I casted my magic, and the magic that I cast was actually a full-grown life-size. It reminded me of Little Shop of Horrors, the Venus flytrap, the size of it, but it was a blue rose, and its thorns and its stems and its leaves actually turned into arms, and it actually went ahead of me and fought for me. It actually fought off the person for me, but it was like I was maneuvering it with my magic. So the blue rose is very sacred and special, and it helps us overcome the most difficult challenges. And when the blue rose comes forward, it is an initiation within itself, because it's like you are going through a very big challenge, but a pivotal point in your life where you have the power to overcome this, but this is part of an initiation. And initiation itself is not the beginning, but the end. So when you're in the initiation, it's actually the end of something that you're meant to break free from and step away from. And so the blue rose, they say, is actually one of the most difficult ones to hold, because of the times when it comes forward is when you are in the midst of one of the biggest challenges that you might be experiencing in your life. But it is one of the biggest life lessons at the same time that's going to burst you out into who you really are. Like, this is part of you coming into you, you know, overcoming this challenge. So very incredible energy to have in our favor this week. So as you saw, I didn't have to do anything. The blue rose went ahead of me and fought for me. You see what I'm saying? So that's our message this week. You don't have to do anything but honor you and do what you feel called to do, and the rest Spirit has. Spirit has your back. The situation will unfold in divine justice. Okay? All right. Let me see what I missed here. Hi, Leah. Hi, Barbara. You see you sneak in. Fingers crossed. Oh, yeah, honey. You don't even need that, okay? It's all about focusing on what you want. Don't leave it up to hope. Focus on what you want, and then just move forward with that energy, okay? Flo says, wow, I feel like you are talking to me. I am talking to you, love. Kimberly said, how incredible, isn't that divine timing? Oh yeah, it's amazing. I'm gonna have to go on to my page and just confirm, but I'm gonna do it right now. Remember, I want you all, so I don't forget to say this again. Higher love. Stephen Winwood. Listen to that. Oh, of course, Facebook wants to play it now. Not load. Scroll. There it is. I shared it today. Thank you for pointing out. I can't even believe I forgot that. It's so incredible. Magic. Now I'm going to have to message Cheryl and be like, look. All right. Hey, Kathleen. Welcome, love. There's a lot of initials. Sorry, I can't see good song trying. Oh no, how are your eyes doing, love? How are you feeling? Confirmation everywhere these days. One just has to look. Absolutely. Yeah, can you believe that? It's incredible. All right. So, oh no, your eyes are not doing so good. I'm so sorry, love. Sending you much healing, much love, much support. Yes, right. You're right. It's all good. Yeah. And I know that you just popped in, so you're going to want to catch back the replay for the energy forecast and the beginning of the message, the oracle message, because it may apply to maybe what you're any struggle or challenge you might be experiencing this week. Okay. All right, everyone. That's why I knew we had to work with this deck. It's so funny. So funny. I just love it. But I'm not surprised, I shouldn't be, but I always still love it when magic happens, Cheryl and I do a lot. All right, so Mudra, that's next. I had to think for a second, what am I doing? All right, so I am working with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Allison D. Nicola. This is a really great deck, and there's also the sister deck that's the same. It's red, and it says instead of awakening the energy body, it's awakening the 5 elements. These are really great tools for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're advanced, if you're not advanced, just to help you understand what you can do to empower and help yourself to overcome any energetic mental blockages, physical ailments, helping you with spiritual illumination and consciousness expansion. So the word mudra itself is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a very ancient language, believed to have been one of the original languages on the planet. It's actually also believed to be a form of a light language. I can definitely vouch for that, considering that I do speak light language. I do have a language of my own. Why they say that it's believed to be, and why I say I can vouch for that, is because when you speak the Sanskrit words, there's something magical that happens. It's like the vibration that comes out and the sound. It's It's actually a form of healing within itself, and activations or even triggers. So very powerful. The same is the way that light language actually works. It is encoded sound that comes forward to, facilitate healing, growth, etc. So a very powerful ancient language. So the word mudra itself translates to seal, and it's believed to be an energetic seal. We form these seals or mudras with our hands. Within our hands, we have chakras in our palms. We have the triggers in our fingers that are connected to the elements. So using your hands, forming these seals, you are actually creating very powerful energy activation tools. These mudras connect or align to your chakras or energy centers within your body, within your energy body. These connect into each. Now, one mudra can work with many chakras at once or just one chakra, depending. Now, each chakra is linked to the four main bodies. Your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and what we call your spiritual body. Working with, now, the point of having all of your chakra centers open and flowing, and when I say flowing, they're like vortexes or spinning wheels of light. We want them to be flowing because then our life force center, life force energy, can flow through us, also known as your prana, your chi, your ki, can flow through you, feeding, almost like breathing air into those energy centers, which then in turn feeds into your energy bodies, which facilitates overall well-being and healing. Also, it helps to alleviate any blockage that we may have been carrying or picked up or holding on to within those energy bodies. If those blockages are not cleared or dealt with, they can trickle onto that physical body, creating physical illness, ailments, or dis-ease. So it's important to use these, but at the very least, they're stress relievers. They also facilitate consciousness expansion. These are meant to assist us with attaining enlightenment. So they are incredibly powerful. These have been being used for thousands and thousands of years. The ancient Tibetan monks have used them, and they are still very widely used. Many ancient deities have been depicted in their statues or paintings as doing some form of, mudra. So very powerful, and so powerful that sometimes they do come with caution. And the caution can be that if you are already suffering from an issue on your physical body, and the mudra that we call in links to an energy center that connects with that part of your physical body, well, understand that we are actually channeling energy into that energy center, which can then create a little bit of aggravation or irritability in that physical area of your body. So I would then tell you to use this with the word. It will say that there's a caution. I'll let you know that, and it will be your choice as to whether or not you choose to proceed with actually working with the mudra. It doesn't mean it's going to harm you. Not necessarily. It can just really aggravate, and you may not want to, experience that. So I will give you that heads up if the mudra comes forward with a caution. Okay, not all of them do. So we are going to I'll pull the mudra. It usually goes hand in hand with whatever the message was to assist us in facilitating that openness, that growth, whatnot, or healing. And then we will do it together here live. And then afterwards, I'll post the picture on my page, and you can save it to your cell phone or whatever device you choose to save it to. And then that allows you to be able to work with that all week long, because the more that you do, the more it's just going to facilitate that growth in which we are being guided to work with this week. Okay. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Michelle, Ashley. Welcome. So you did just pop in, and I just finished the Moonday message as well as the energy forecast. We're getting ready to do the mudra now, but everything will be available on replay after the live is done. Ashley says, wow, I'm blown away. Had lots of unanswered questions recently and been looking for guidance. The universe has been listening. Very drawn to you. Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you found your way here and heard exactly what it was that you needed. All right. How is your mother, Michelle? I've been concerned. I've been following along, so sending my love and to you, your family, and to your mother. And please tell her that I send my love and say hello. Hi, Laura. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. We're just getting ready to do the mudra. All right. So, oh, Michelle says her mother made it through surgery. Oh, wonderful. That's so good to hear. She's in ICU. Okay, I do, again, sending my love, healing, surrounding her in light. And, you know, definitely send her my love. Thank you for keeping me updated. Okay, everyone. Yes, and if everyone could send Michelle's mother, Cindy, some love, some healing, some positive thoughts, I'm sure that would be well received. All right, so let us find out what mudra comes forward to assist us all this week of November 23rd, 2020. Oh, yeah. So this makes sense, what we just talked about, you know, trusting your intuition, you know, following your heart's calling. And it is a mudra that is called the Vajrapradama mudra. Hope I said that right. Angie Walters, beautiful soul sister of light. Crystal Essence Healing is her page. Please go over, give her a like. Angie posts mudras every day as well as affirmations. She works with these much more in depth than what I even do and understand with mudras, and even than what is in the book. So Angie, when she pops on and watches, I don't think she's tuning in right now, but she usually does share in the comments anything that might pertain to the mudra that will assist us working with the mantra, working with the deity that might be connected to the mudra. So she often kind of has a giggle at me because for all my light language, I cannot pronounce Sanskrit to save my life. So the Vajrapradama mudra, it is the self-trust mudra. Look at that, all that green, that heart chakra, right? And that's what we're all talking about. We are talking about following our hearts, using our discernment, and trusting in our truth, following our truth. So it assists with enthusiasm, trust, and confidence. It supports respiratory system. That's a good one. Releasing tightness in the chest, ribs, and back. Energizes and cultivates enthusiasm and self-confidence. It helps with depression as well. Okay, so very powerful. There is no caution with this one, so everyone is free to use this. So we're going to be doing this one together. Let me see. I see some comments here. Oh, Ashley, I certainly did hear what I needed to hear. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, sweetie. Glad. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Really? Kathleen's been working with this one all week. Well, look at that. Why am I not surprised? Awesome. Hi, Gigi. Welcome. So we're working with the mudra. We're about to do this together right now, but everything else will be available on replay, love. But thank you so much for popping in and being here. All right, everybody. So we're going to do this one together. So how we're going to do it, it's pretty simple. I believe we have worked with this one before. So what you're going to do is you're going to interlace your fingers together from right and left hand to the first knuckle with the pinky fingers on the bottom. So, oh my goodness. All right, so I had to just do all of mine because otherwise it was, there we go, it's too tricky. So to the first knuckle, all right. So then you're going to extend your thumbs and index fingers upward, okay. You're going to hold your hands in front of your heart and chest with your elbows relaxed. I'm sorry, I'm like leaning all the way forward because there's a glare and I cannot see anything. Okay, so you're gonna have your elbows down, relax your shoulders, right out in front of your heart center here. I'm gonna have you all close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in. We're gonna do this 6 times. And release. Blow the breath out of your mouth, channeling that energy into your heart center, into your palms. Again, nice deep breath in. . 2 more times. Nice deep breath in. Release. Again, breathe in. Release. Last time, nice deep breath in. And release. And you can state, unshakable confidence guides my journey forward. Unshakable confidence guides my journey forward. Unshakable confidence guides my journey forward. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. How'd that feel, everyone? Nice and relaxed. Hey, Ange. Oh, you just missed it. We just were talking about you too. So you can definitely catch it on replay, but it was the Vajrapradama Mudra. And how's that for some Sanskrit? All right. Oh, and Michelle says they will be extubating her this evening. She's alert but in and out of pain. Oh, okay. I do hope all goes well. And I have, remember, hold the vigil. Justice will triumph. Okay. All right. Oh, Jillian and Ashley know each other. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, you're so welcome, Karen. You're welcome, Kathleen. Hugs and love and blessing. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the States this Thursday. So, and everyone who is not experienced having their Thanksgiving, still love and blessings to everyone. And thank you all so much for being here with me this week. Again, I'm always deeply appreciative of your love, of your support in this community that we've grown together. So I look forward to seeing you next Monday on the lunar eclipse full moon. It'll be amazing. No worries, everyone. Okay? Much love. Take care.